Hey guys, Truetalk here, and today we're going to be talking about episode 3 of Black Lightning that aired earlier tonight. So the first thing I want to bring up is the subplot of the episode of Jennifer and her boyfriend Khalil. I thought this was comedic, but also very real and appropriate, kind of adult appropriateness. I think it's cool that the show is kind of highlighting that, two teenagers, young adults age can consent, and the fact that they mention, using condoms and everything, and being safe and having, I guess, safe sex or whatever. Additionally, I think the little moment that they have when they, I guess, both realize that they're both virgins, and this is something that they've never done before, and the awkwardness and the little bit of awkwardness. I don't know, I enjoyed that. It was cool. And the little part where Jefferson is talking to Khalil about asking him how he showers, I thought that was really interesting and kind of something that I never thought about. But yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. That's something I want to talk about in the episode before we get into kind of the nitty-gritty of the rest of the episode. The next thing I want to talk about is that Jefferson Pierce gets an upgrade to his suit. And we also get to see, the capabilities of kind of, I guess, the superhero cave, and, Peter Gamby's base of operations and the cool tech that he has. So Jefferson Pierce gets an upgrade to, his arm piece or forearm piece to his suit, where he's now able to focus his electricity and lightning powers so that it doesn't kind of disperse and kind of can be more precise and hit, a specific person in the crowd, which comes in handy with, the kind of the big premise of the episode of there's going to be a big march in the city to kind of protest the 100 gang. So this came in really handy for the next part of the episode. I'd be interested to see if, when, it's needed, if, every couple episodes he gets kind of a new upgrade to his suit to kind of suit what he, needs to do that episode. But yeah, I think it was clever and nice to see that, he has upgrades to his suit. The next thing I want to talk about is Lady Eve. She wasn't in the episode that long, but I really like the character. She's menacing, and I kind of feel like Tobias is even afraid of her, and Tobias kind of answers to her a little bit. They meet, and she kind of gives him the task of taking care of this protest that's happening, and, he goes about his way to, try to take care of this. He even tries to hire a new Lala. Next thing I want to talk about is Grace Choi. In this episode, we see, well, first off, we see that Anissa, is testing out her powers in the junkyard, and then we also see her at the library kind of researching genetic modification to try to figure out what is going on with her. And in this library, she meets Grace Choi, who is a bartender at a bar, and we see that Grace Choi has a comic, and the comic is called The Outsiders. This is significant because for number one, Black Lightning, the character, is a founder of the Outsiders in the comics. But additionally, for the character of Grace Choi, in the comics, her first appearance in the comics is in an Outsiders comic. So that's kind of a little Easter egg for her, and kind of, something for those with, quick eyes and everything. Additionally, just another note to the character of Grace Choi in general. In the comics, she is a descendant of Amazons and has super strength. I don't know, and I'm not sure if this is going to be something that they're going to explore in the show, but that's something to keep in mind with this character for the future. We may or may not see this, manifest and come to fruition later on in the season or future seasons. The last thing I want to talk about is the shooting that happened. So the person that Tobias Will hired to go shoot up the protest, fails because Black Lightning is there, of course, to protect everyone. He kind of thwarts their attempts at, attacking the citizens. But we see that Tobias Whale and his, I guess, right-hand woman show up to, I guess, double check to see that the deed is done. And what he does is have her shoot into the crowd, trying to aim for Black Lightning specifically. But what ends up happening is that the Reverend and Khalil, Jennifer's boyfriend, gets hit with bullets. Later on, we find out that both of them are fine. Neither of them died, but Khalil, the bullet that hit Khalil hit his spine, so he's not going to be able to walk anymore. And he was a track runner, so that's kind of, a major playing point for his character. I'd really like to see his character continue to be in the show. If you guys didn't know, the actor that plays Khalil also plays Chuck Clayton on Riverdale. So I don't know how that's going to work in terms of him being on both shows and how, his filming schedule was at the time that these episodes were being filmed. But I feel like I want to see more of him in the show. I really hope that this is not the last that we see him. The next thing I want to talk about is the episode description for episode 4, which is going to air next week, Tuesday, February 6th at 9 p.m. Back in town, her Black Jesus, back in town. Black Lightning is recruited to rally against the 100 Gang. Anissa investigates the new drug hitting the streets. Meanwhile, familiar faces begin to reappear. So from this, it's not really much to go on except, Black Lightning is, going to continue to be fighting with the 100 Gang. And Anissa is going to be doing some investigating and superheroing of her own. And I'm going to bet and guess that the part about familiar faces reappearing is going to be Tobias Whale, showing his face. Because if you remember from the previous episodes, both Tobias and Jefferson, or Black Lightning, I should say, think that the other is dead. So Tobias Whale thinks that Black Lightning is dead, and Black Lightning thinks that Tobias Whale is dead. But of course, neither of them are, and this is going to come to fruition and result in some interesting things next episode, now that Tobias Whale knows that Black Lightning is alive. And I assume the next episode, Black Lightning is going to learn that Tobias Whale is alive. I come to think of it, Peter Gamby had a little video footage in the episode that he deleted, and I think it was of the car that Tobias Whale was in. So Peter Gamby is going to, I guess, be keeping it a secret that Tobias is still alive, but Black Lightning is going to find the next episode. Anyway, guys, as always, follow my blog. There's a blog post for this and Flash that also appeared tonight, and Supergirl from yesterday, all on my blog, ready to go. Follow me on social media. I tweet all the time about things. And as always, guys, happy Tuesday. Let's talk.